Okay, tried to film this video several times and it sucked every single time, but I think I got it this time. My .45 Triad. So, if you're gonna ask me what .45 caliber handguns that I recommend based on my preferences, it's these three. Universally, the power of the number 3 is widely accepted. And in most command structures, when they refer to the Triad as military command, that's the most widely used command structure. Also, when you fold a flag, that's what it looks like, right? 3 points. So, here's my Triad. And the reason I stick to a Triad also is because as far gone as I get stocking things for my guns, maintaining a primary 3 per caliber keeps it a lot cheaper for me. Not cheaper for other people, and I don't make a lot of money, but the way I support my guns, it makes it easier. So, here we go. First gun on that list is easily HK45. Reason for that is just how it fits me, how I like to run it, and I might do a video on it later that you'll see. But not a review, just a thoughts on it video. But this is a jack of all trades, which also mastered a few, in my opinion. It's probably the most underrated and underappreciated of all of the modern HK offerings, but it's still an amazing handgun. It's the one I own the most of. I also own the most magazines for this, which is neck and neck with my VP9, but the HK45 probably is the most supported of my handguns, especially with all the copies I have and variants and such. So in the chain of command model, this would be your senior enlisted leader, or top, or CMC, or whatever you want to say, master guns, sergeant major. You get it. Next on the list, the XO, which I call the wife. The go-to handgun for damn near everything. If serious stuff popped off tomorrow, this is the gun that is in my bad day kit as of right now. Probably the second most indirectly supported, because the Mark 23 magazines fit in it just fine, is my USP 45. I have the most rounds through this platform of any personally owned firearms that I have. The only other gun in the world that I've shot more than this is a M9 for obvious reasons. This is very easily one of the most important guns in my arsenal for a reason, and it would be what I armed people with. It's just a widely accepted tank of a firearm. Nobody questions its reliability, and it's the USP 45 is a legendary handgun. That's why. And lastly, I'm sure you can guess, the third one is the Mark 23. Now, the Mark 23 is in charge, commanding officer, the prime number, head honcho, whatever else you want to say. The reason for this is it's unstoppable. This is the most rugged handgun on the planet, and even though the USP 45 is in my bad day kit and all this other stuff, if I was never coming back because of some catastrophic event where the world as we know it is gone, and it's like Book of Eli or Fallout or something, this is what's going to be in my drop leg, which I have a drop leg for. I've achieved accuracy and hits at range with this thing that I have never before been able to do or had the confidence to do. And I think it has everything to do with the weapon system and not too much with my skills. Even though it's technically all the shooter, this thing just cranks out hits like you wouldn't believe. Not as fast as my USP 45 or HK 45, I'll tell you that. And it's not the mechanical accuracy or speed, it's my ability to apply maximum effort when driving it. That's what slows it down. Because quite frankly, that's a lot of slide. But by and large, this is the gun that I trust to always work no matter what. Suppressed, unsuppressed, everything. This is it. This is my .45 Triad. And I know some of you are going to ask, Why is it all HK? Well, for me, a serious use 45 has to be an HK. Every 45 that I'm going to seriously employ is going to be an HK. That's just the way it is. From my experience firsthand, from experience of other serious people that do work that have talked to me, or I've heard second, third, and fourth hand, these three handguns are second to none, especially in the polymer frame market. I'm not saying those other guns are bad. This is just my go-to Triad. It's going to be different for you, and some honorable mentions for me are the 1911 and the HK45C. That's about it, honestly. I've shot some Glock 21s and a Glock 30S that I like just fine, but to be honest with you, they don't make me feel good and give me hits like these three guns I just listed. The whole point of this is to let you guys know the top 3 45s I'm always going to recommend. It's always going to be these three. It's never going to change. There's never going to be a 45 design that comes out that's going to shift my opinion of these three guns. Their performance, their track record, all that stuff stands far and away the best in my eyes, in my hands, and in my experience. Now my 9mm Triad, which I'm still working on, I don't have it set in stone yet, is not all HKs, and you will see that eventually. But my recommendation to you is if you get pretty far gone like me, but you're not at the point where you have more guns than Blu-rays or more guns than anything else in your life, silverware, bowls, plates, all that stuff put together, you have a very reasonable to more than you'd need size collection. My recommendation is stick to 3s per caliber. So you have your 9mm Triad, you have your 45 Triad, you have your 5.56 Triad, and your 308 Triad, let's say. Or you have, you know, however you want to split it up. This is how I do it to keep it simple, so I don't get way too far gone with having like 12 different 9mm magazines I have to buy and 15 different 45 magazines I have to buy and all this other stuff. This keeps it simple for me. Yes, it's expensive already, and the amount of magazines I have for each gun are pretty ridiculous. Like this one's just in the case for the Mark 23. That's my whole goal with this video. So make your Triad and let me know what it is. Thanks for watching. Take care of each other, stay safe, and support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America.